رمضان شكل تاني على التلفزيون المصري.
Dear students of third secondary, welcome to a new episode of your English program. Hope you benefit from today's episode because we have lots of things to do together and lots of exercises to discuss and answer. But before we get started, let me welcome my dear colleague, Mrs. Caroline. Hello, Mrs. Caroline.
Hello, Ms. Jérmين. How are you doing? My dear students of the third stage, we are very happy to be back with you today. We have a lot to introduce, as Ms. Jérmين have just said. Please be with us and be prepared with a lot of information to take and exercises as well. Let's start. The Pearl, a story of greed. Greed, يعني طمع, this is a noun, and greedy with a Y, this is the adjective.
Some expressions. A relative on my father's side.
Break out of the prison, يعني يهرب من السجن.
Badly paid jobs. يعني وظائف ليها مرتبات ضعيفة.
Careful with money, حريص في صرف النقود بتاعته.
Intrude into or on people's private lives.
It's like becoming nosy.
Keep children away of mischief. Kill somebody by mistake.
Play tricks on. Seek or avoid publicity, يعني حد بيسعى إلى الشهرة أو بيتجنب الشهرة.
Take pride in. Tell the truth. Win the Nobel Prize for Literature. Go diving.
Language notes. Celebrity and celebration. Celebrity and celebration, both of them are nouns. الاثنين nouns. بس celebrity معناها شخص مشهور. Celebration معناها احتفال. I met a lot of celebrities. We are going to celebrate our 25th January revolution.
Sting and bite. While I was in the desert, a scorpion was about to sting me. Does your dog bite? Come here, I won't bite. طبعا الاكسبريشن الاخير ده يعني اكسبريشن فاني شويه، احنا بنقوله لما بتقول لحد تعالى قرب مني انا مش هعضك. يعني طبعا بايت وستينج معناهم الاثنين يقرص، لكن في
ستينج يلدع
حد زي ما نقول البيز والموسكيتوز اللي هي الحاجات الحشرات مثلا ليها الابره دي اللي بتشك اللي بتلدع. فستينج وبايت ليهم معنى قريب، لكن الديفرنس في اليوسجز وديبيندز على انا بستعمله لايه. طبعا
اللي بيبقى عنده اسنان بتهيألي هو ده اللي بايت، لكن
أيوة.
التاني هو ده اللي بيلدغ، ده
أيوة.
ستينجز. يس.
I won't bite يعني مش هعضك.
treat the verb and treatment the noun. treat يعني يعالج، وتريتمنت العلاج أو يتعامل مع حد. Cure is the verb and a cure for, it's to be used with a noun. Our teachers treat us very kindly. The Nigra plant is a cure for the deadly spiders.
Choose the correct answer. A healthcare system was put up to serve all the government's civil attendants, servants, employers, businessmen. Of course, civil servants اللي هم موظفين الحكومة.
He spaced with her for a year before they got married. Connected, responded, respected or corresponded. He corresponded يعني تراسل معه، كان في نوع من المراسلة for a year.
Business was widely spaced in the world as a result of the last economic crisis. Depressed, pressed, compressed, past. Of course, business was deeply depressed.
Our friend Minna is very space. We find ourselves doing what she suggests all the time. She was very greedy or persuasive or stinging or interested. Of course, she's very persuasive. Persuasive يعني مقنع. It's an adjective.
She is such a space person who doesn't like publicity. Private, public, general, social. Of course, private is the right word.
With a little space, she agreed to meet me tomorrow evening. Treatment, persuasion, permission, and pressure. With a little persuasion, the noun of persuade, the verb.
Find the mistake in each of these sentences, then write them correctly.
Being stuck by a scorpion, he was taken to hospital at 1. طبعا being stuck is completely wrong. We have just said that. It's being stung. خلي بالنا being يبقى لازم وراها الverb in the past participle form. So it's stung of the verb sting.
Civil servants are always working for governments. Civil servants احنا قلنا من شوية civil servants اللي هم موظفين الدولة أو موظفين الحكومة.
This is a good treaty for cough. This is a good treatment for cough.
Playing diving is my favorite sport. Going diving is my favorite sport.
He took the decision by himself. I didn't forget him to do that. طبعا ما فيش علاقة ما بين ال two sentences in the way it was said. He took the decision by himself لكن I didn't persuade him to do that. ما أقنعتوش.
Grammar. Now we are going to start our grammar lesson. الجرامر lesson بيقول لنا ال affirmative form وال negative form. أنا ممكن أجي أقول في sentence I don't eat meat. I don't eat meat. Subject, verb, object وحطيت ال negative مع ال verb. I don't eat. عاوزة أقول الجملة بطريقة تانية. أقول the doctor مثلا ordered me not to eat meat. Not to eat meat. هنا أنا استغنيت خالص عن الauxiliary اللي هو verb to do. وحطيت not to وحطيت الverb بعديها. نخلي بالنا من الستراكشر ده لأن احنا بنحتاجه كتير وبنحتاجه كمان في درس مهم زي الدايركت والاندايركت إن أنا أحط الجملة بهذا الترتيب. تعالوا نشوف more examples عشان نفهم بنقول إيه. To plus infinitive, not to plus infinitive. The police ordered the driver to stop. Akram told me to be here at 10 o'clock. طب أنا عايز أستعمل نفس الجملة دي بالفورم التاني.
Negative form.
Negative form. فممكن أقول Akram told me not to be late. Not to be late. بدل ما أحطها don't be late. أنا هنا أنا عندي الجملة في الانdirect. فما عنديش الأوبشن إن أنا أحط don't. طب عايز أحطها في النيجاتيف من غير ما أعمل أي تغييرات هحط not to be late. وهنا طبعا أنا أضفت بعض الكلمات على الجملة علشان خاطر أوصل للجملتين إن هما يكونوا equal in meaning. نفس المعنى. تعالوا نشوف more examples.
The passive voice. Passive voice مبني للمجهول. Let's see how can we put it with the same form that we have just used. The object plus verb to be plus the past participle plus to plus infinitive. For example, the driver was ordered to stop. مش هو اللي اتأمر طبعا. شخص أمره. He was ordered. وعايز استعمل بعدها infinitive تبقى to plus infinitive. He was advised to change his old car. Back again, passive form, to plus infinitive, and then the sentence following. What are the verbs that we can use for the passive form? ايه الverbs ممكن نستعملها؟ advise ينصح، allow، permit، recommend or encourage. لو جبت verbs من دول they have all to be followed by verb plus ing. For example, they don't allow parking here. He advised me buying a Lancer.
Let and make. They are followed by the object, then the verb in the infinitive. Verb be plus let or make plus infinitive. My father let me go to the cinema with my friends. Heat makes ice melts. نقف بقى هنا شوية وناخد بالنا من التركيبة دي. عندي two expressions، واحد اسمه let والتاني اسمه make. لما اجي بستعمل ال two verbs دول باخد بالي ان ال verb that follows لازم يكون في الانفينيتيف من غير to. بمعنى الجملة اللي عندنا الاكزامبل بيقول my father let me go، مش let me to go ومش letting me to going مثلا، لا هو let me go. وبحط هنا كمان pronoun بيفصل بين الفيرب الاولاني اللي هو let وكمان go. الجملة اللي بعديها بتقول heat makes ice melt، فبقدر ان انا احط let والفيرب اللي بعديها افصلهم بكلمة معينة سواء pronoun او noun عادي. الجملة التانية بتقول heat makes ice melt وحطيت الفيرب melt من غير ما يكون فيه اي changes فيه، يعني ما قلتش مثلا to melt، ما قلتش melting، ما قلتش had melt، هتبقى heat makes a noun melt. خدتوا بالكم من التركيبة دي؟ الجملة اللي قبليها كان الفاصل بين ال two verbs pronoun، أما الفاصل بين الجملة التانية ال two verbs التانيين كان بينهم noun، واحدة pronoun والتانية noun. Let's see more examples.
More of the passive verbs. I was let to go to the cinema. Or ice is made to melt by heat. Back again, اللي بيعرفني الباسيف is the verb. Was let or is made and then to and then the infinitive. Take care of this. Prefer to plus infinitive, verb plus ing or noun. Prefer plus to plus infinitive or prefer plus verb plus ing. يعني هحط prefer هحط وراها to يبقى حطيت infinitive، هحط prefer يبقى لازم to be followed by ing، يعني ما ينفعش اخلط prefer to plus infinitive، هحط prefer plus verb يبقى prefer plus verb plus ing. Take care of this and let's see more examples about this. It's very important. Prefer to plus infinitive or prefer noun and verb plus infinitive. Prefer to plus infinitive or prefer a noun or verb plus ing. We have to take care. هنحط وراي حطينا noun prefer a noun okay. هنحط verb يبقى لازم يبقى verb plus ing. هحط prefer to يبقى prefer to do. يعني for example prefer to play or I prefer football or I prefer playing football. So I have to take care what is following prefer so that I see the form that I put after prefer. Not only that, prefer to plus infinitive rather than plus infinitive. أنا بفاضل ما بين حاجتين. So for example, I prefer playing football, for example, rather than watching TV. أو I prefer verb plus ing زي ما احنا شايفين. Prefer verb plus ing or noun to verb plus ing or noun. نخلي بالنا لو استعملنا rather than يبقى هنحط وراها infinitive، لكن هنستعمل noun verb ing or noun هنستعمل to يبقى وراها ing or noun. These are very important. Let's see the examples to clarify the rules. I prefer to eat fish. This is something for now. But when I say I prefer eating fish ده معناه المعتاد. يبقى أنا لو باكل حاجة دلوقتي وبختار يبقى I prefer to plus infinitive. لكن العام بتاعي I prefer eating fish. Prefer plus ing for the general situations, for my general attitude that I use.
يعني انا لو قاعد في ريستورانت وبختار بين مثلا two dishes، فانا ممكن اقول للويتر مثلا I prefer fish. لا، هاكل دلوقتي حالا في الاوردر ده هاكل fish. I prefer fish. لكن لو انا بتكلم عموما انا بقول انا بفضل الاسماك عن باقي الاكل. مش لازم اقول بقى عن باقي الانواع، ممكن اكتفي بس ب I prefer eating fish. دي لوحدها الاي ان جي فورم غنى عن ان انا اقول اني بفضل بينه وبين الانواع التانية. احب اضيف برضو جزئيه على شرح ميسيس كارولين، انه لما بستعمل rather وبستعمل to لازم اخلي بالي انه الشكل بتاع الفيرب هو اللي بيتكرر بعديها. يعني انا لو حطيت الناون مثلا او الجيرن ده في الاي ان جي فورم rather than لازم اي ان جي تاني. ما ينفعش ان انا احط بقى الجزء التاني بعد rather than دي في الانفينيتيف. طالما هختار شكل معين بيبقى ده شبه ده. زي كده القواعد بتاعت العربي لما بيكون عندنا مثلا حرف جر زي الواو،
العطف في العطف لازم اللي قبل
الاولاني زي التاني،
اللي بعديه.
ما ينفعش احط adjective واحط بعديها حاجه تانية، لازم هحط الاثنين من نفس الشكل.
I prefer to drive rather than travel by train. Exactly. I prefer driving to traveling by train. حطيت prefer plus ing هحط to يبقى ing برضه. حطيت I prefer to plus verb in the infinitive يبقى بعد rather than كمان infinitive.
I'd rather plus infinitive. Shall we go by train? I prefer to go by car. I'd rather not by car. I'd rather plus infinitive than infinitive. Again, more emphasis about the same thing.
I'd rather stay at home tonight than go to the cinema. I'd rather at the beginning infinitive than infinitive.
I'd rather you did something.
Choose the correct answer.
Life experience taught me space again if I failed once. To trying, try to try. Life experience taught me to try again.
Ahmed intended space to my party. To invite, not to invite, to be invited or inviting. Ahmed intended to be invited to my party.
No one can force me space anything against my will. Not doing, not to do. No one can force me to do anything against my will. will هنا معناها إرادة.
The traffic notices along the road instruct the drivers space fast. To driving, not to driving, driving not or not to drive. Of course, not to drive. مفيش حاجة اسمها not to driving.
My teacher let me space the work again. To do, to doing, do, does. My teacher let me do. احنا لسه شارحين القاعدة دي دلوقتي.
مفيش to, if you please. Find the mistake in each of these sentences, then write them correctly.
My mother always reminds me, take a sandwich with me to school.
My mother always reminds me to take a sandwich with me to school. نخلي بالنا من الverbs اللي بتاخد to plus infinitive والverbs اللي ما بتاخدش to plus infinitive. Very important.
Do you want me carrying that bag for you?
Do you want me to carry that bag for you?
She let me to go with her to the cinema.
Remember what we just said. ما ينفعش let me وبعديها to go. It has to be she let me go with her to the cinema.
Iron was made expanding by heating.
Of course, it includes mistake. Iron was made to expand by heating.
Passive form.
Language functions.
Giving advice.
Asking for advice. نخلي بالنا لأنه asking for advice والحاجات دي في language functions دايما بتيجي in the dialogues بنطلب فيها البليس، بنطلب speaker 1 or speaker A and speaker B، وكمان اللانجوج فانكشن بتاعتنا. في اللانجوج فانكشن بنكتب ايه اللي كان بيحصل، ايه اللي كان موجود في الكونفرسيشن.
Can I ask your advice about? What should I do about? What is your advice about? Plus noun or ing.
And the question mark is important. هبتدي ب question can I ask you أو what should I or what's your advice. هحط noun or ing لازم question mark. This is asking for advice.
Giving advice ده الأنسر بقى. You should or you shouldn't plus infinitive. You'd better or you'd better not plus infinitive. You ought to or you ought not plus infinitive. طبعا احنا I advise you not to plus infinitive. My advice to you is not to or is to plus infinitive. It's advisable to or not to plus infinitive. If I were you, I would or I wouldn't plus infinitive. It's a good idea that you whatever plus infinitive. The best thing is to or not to plus infinitive. طبعا احنا في الاكسبريشنز اللي فاتت المفروض ان انا لما بجيب advice to somebody I don't impose my opinion about the subject I'm giving my advice about. يعني انا مش بفرض رأيي، مش بستعمل ابدا you must او you should، لانه انا by using must or should كأني انا بأمره. هو مش بيطلب الامر، هو بيطلب الادفايس. فعشان كده كل الاكسبريشنز اللي فاتت فيها politeness، فيها ذوق، فيها ادب. انا بقترح عليه، بقول له يعني من المستحسن ان انت تعمل الحاجه الفلانيه، او لو انا مكانك ما كنتش عملت الحاجه الفلانيه، او اعمل الحاجه الفلانيه. فنخلي بالنا ان احنا مش ممكن نستعمل must او should مع الاكسبريشنز اللي فاتت.
Exactly.
Let's see how we respond to advice. ازاي بنرد على النصيحه
سواء بالرفض. I'm going to accept بقى دلوقتي، يعني هعمل acceptance وبعدين هعمل refusal، نشوف ازاي نعمل الاكسبتنس مع بعض.
ازاي برفض بأدب وازاي برضو باكسبت بgratitude اني ممتن للشخص اللي قدامي انه بينصحني.
For accepting
you are right.
That's a good idea.
Being not sure
مش متأكد قوي.
maybe I will think about it.
لأنه مش لطيف قوي إن أنا أقول له no أو أقول له لا this doesn't suit me، لكن ممكن نقول maybe. ممكن أقول I'll think about it، يعني طريقة لطيفة شوية.
اديني مهلة فقط.
بالظبط.
refusing certainly not. I'm afraid I don't want to do that.
دي من الطرق السليمة جدا، وأحسن الطرق اللي ممكن أرد بيها لو أنا مش مقتنع قوي أو مش شايف إنه مش لطيف الادفايس اللي أخدتها أو مش مناسباني. فأبسط حاجة ممكن أقولها I'm afraid I cannot do that or I'm afraid I don't want to do that. Certainly not من الطريقة اللطيفة جدا الواحد ممكن يرد بيها.
وطبعا I'm afraid هنا مش معناها أنا خايف.
لا طبعا.
مش مرعوب يعني. برضو كمان من الدايلوجز اللي بتيجي لو حد بيرد على التليفون وبقول أنا آسف مثلا فلان مش موجود، فبقول I'm afraid he's not here.
Exactly.
مش أنا خايف إن هو مش هنا. I'm afraid he's not here. يعني as if I am apologizing, as if I'm saying I'm sorry. بس مش I'm sorry because I haven't done anything wrong. لكن بقول I'm afraid he's not available or he's not here.
It's better than saying no he's not here.
Exactly.
أو no
لأن no دي شوية very sharp.
Very sharp. Exactly. Respond to each of the following situations.
Your friend asks for your advice about where to go on holiday.
It's a good idea to travel to the country.
A friend wants to do some charity work. Advise him.
If I were you, I'd work for a children's charity. My dear students, by this part of dialogues that we have just done, we came to the end of our program today. Hope you have enjoyed our program and you've benefited from it. We're waiting for you next time. Please be waiting for us. Thank you.
Dear students, looking forward to seeing you very soon in a new episode of your English program, so wait for us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Dear students, welcome to. Today we're going to start studying the DNA, but not in the all types of the cells in our body, but just in the somatic cells. And also we can get the difference between some types of mutations within that happens and occur for the human and also the plant. Let's start the lesson today. The human somatic cells contains about 46 chromosomes, okay? And right now we need to know how these groups of chromosomes, histones and non-histones, they are packed and they are intensed and condensed inside the nucleus. If we imagine that the DNA double helix from these chromosomes where they are aligned or became a linear, stretched out, it's gonna be about 2 meters in the length, okay? While the histones and other proteins has an important role in the backing, okay, the high length of this protein, okay, to package it in just a tiny diameter about from 2 to 3 micrometer. But biochemical analysis and also the electron microfags, they are shown that the DNA is wound around a clusters of histones. The clusters mean what? Clusters mean a group of histones, and also we have two types, as we said, we have histones and non-histones type. Yet the forming a string of particles called nucleosomes. Again, we're going to know how the proteins or how the enzymes play the important role in the backing of this length inside just a tiny length of 2 to 3 micrometer. This shortens the molecule about 10-fold, but it must be packed about 100,000 times more tightly to fit into the nucleus itself. So, the string of the nucleosomes is coiled so as to pack them nucleosomes together to form the nucleosomes. However, even this is not sufficient to shorten or to condense the DNA molecule to the length actually observed. The tightly coiled strings of nucleosomes are arranged in large loops, and there are some actions and some enzymes that work on these large loops, okay, to intensify and condense the length of the DNA. Believe or not, that to be held in place by structural non-histone proteins of the chromatin. The chromatin packed up as tightly as possible is said to be condensed, highly intensified. When the DNA is in this state, in this case, the enzymes apparently cannot get at it. So, if you can imagine that a missed part or damaged part of your DNA, and you need to repair this part. This part of DNA, it will be unwounded, okay, and it lined, or it became a straight line, because the enzymes, it cannot work by this intensifying or this kind of condensation. The package must be unwound at least into a string, okay, or as we said it,